people heard that they were going through a divorce, people will be shocked. Why would you still be staying in the same house with her? Why would you still be staying in the same house with him? Aren't you this, So I know that that woman died of heartbreak. She was also sick, but I know that she died of heartbreak, right?
What we can pull out, as it were, what we can extract from this flow of thoughts and conversation is that it is important that the foundation is dealt with. Our Bible teaches, when the foundation is destroyed, what shall the righteous do? What I say always is, the righteous should fix the foundation. Now, if this particular woman that you're mentioning, almost in her 50s, can trust a mentor, if a mentor can pick up this case and walk her through that foundation and actually identify that she's a bruised person, it was that damage that pushed her into marriage in the first place. And being a damaged person in the marriage, she didn't have the opportunity or the privilege of having a man who understood her situation and could come into her history.
It's even that being damaged that leads you to marry the wrong person in the first place.
But you see, wrong person, yes. But we are now in the marriage.
As everybody who gets married to that particular person for a reason. There's a reason. It's not always what we would ordinarily think it is, right? Everybody knows why they have married this particular person, right? So he married her because she suited the bill. She fit the bill for him. This is a place where he saw that he could get away without worrying about, I am not showing up as a husband. So that's already what he went in there for. So there is no way, unless something has happened in his consciousness that changes it for him, and he realizes, oh, I actually now want to be a husband. So that's why he couldn't be the person that will now say, let me check why she did this and do anything about it.
I want you to give room for grace. One can really start very badly. Something happens along the line, the one begins to correct it.
That was exactly the last thing I said. What I'm trying to do is pass a message to anyone who might find themselves in this situation.
Exactly, yes. There is a solution. We are not as interested in analysis of a problem as much as we are in pointing out a solution. Let's keep that in view. So that we don't just analyze and analyze, and people are not seeing a way out. So the point I'm therefore making is, yes, it's bad. The lady in the very first place went into marriage simply because she was trying to escape a situation in her family.
He was not showing love. He was not
showing at all.
The only thing that he showed was an interest to marry her. That's the only thing that he showed. I want to marry you.
Because he because of his own damage cannot even express love.
Yeah, because he's that type of person. Because some people are damaged like that, but they want love.
When there is damage, people's response differs. Some will close up. Some will be vivacious. Just to cover the weakness. Just talking. But if you look closely, you will see that something is prompting the reactions.
Exactly.
Now, I am saying that if they had a mentorship,
Exactly.
I believe in mentoring. I believe in mentoring. I believe that if you have a good mentor, and you yourself, you are a mentee, because again, a lot of people, for fear of vulnerability, do not open up.
Perfect. Well, people have had those experiences, and the truth is that yes, people are to blame for those things. However, even though we say that, we also understand that because they've been through that bruising, they are now trying to safeguard. Yes, they're now trying to protect themselves. So I will use this opportunity to let people know that there is a form that will be in the description box under this video. If you feel that you've been bruised and you are in a situation in your mind where you feel that you are alone and facing this pain in this world, we offer you, yes, we offer you the opportunity for digging into it and for finding yourself and knowing that life can be beautiful. You have gone through something serious and you are not alone. I can tell you right now that I know this because I am a victorious story, because I have been there myself. And that's why I want to offer the opportunity for other people so that they can also experience joy in life. Right? So, yeah, so let's continue, Bishop.
Okay.
Yes. And do not fear because you are hearing Bishop, because a lot of people also have the fear that, oh, these people will start talking about Bible and God, and they're not going to come down to the real life that I am living, because where is God and where is the Bible in these things that are happening to me? So do not fear. We're talking about real life and real human beings in the conversation, right? Yes, we're going to always refer to our Creator, because how did we get here? But it's going to be a full and total picture. It's not just going to be a question of pray or we're going to send you to the spirits. Yeah. Yes, Bishop.
Okay. Having said that much, first of all, let me address vulnerability. One of the things I find difficult to understand is why some people are so scared about telling their story, to the extent that you want to die with your secrets. Me that is talking here. In fact, this morning, I was preaching in a church with people who know me even. And I was saying that my wife, who is here, was the person who opened my eyes to the need for a finishing school in life. I mean, it shows I'm taking a risk. I am opening up my weakness that I didn't know, that mannerisms can affect how a person is accepted. I didn't know. So many of us think we are guys, think we dress well. Meanwhile, we don't know that things like picking your nails, digging into your nose, eating without recourse to even knowing that there are people around you, table manners, and these simple things can put a lady off from a relationship.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
I shared this in the church because my life is my message. You cannot preach a proper message that you have never lived.
Is
I went back to saying this to buttress that point you made. It's not about Bishop or Buddhist Bible, but these are real life issues.
yeah.
So I'm saying that we must be willing to be vulnerable, be willing to let people learn from your mistakes and from your victories.
And if I may
Learn
add,
to open up.
if I may add to that, what that actually does is that they can see that maybe
Makes you authentic.
no, or maybe that thing you're sharing is exactly what they themselves have been through or are going through, so they will know, oh, there is somebody right here who can hold my hand. But if you hide it, yes, if you hide it, you know, and then also sharing it, not only can you help other people who are going through the same thing, somebody else who sees that you need help can now reach out to you and say, oh, I heard you share this thing, I know what to do.
Exactly.
Come, let me tell you what to do. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So
So we must deal with our vulnerabilities. I mean, our fear of being vulnerable. Then two, I also want to point out that there are actually cases that are indeed spiritual.
okay.
There are actual cases of spirituality.
Are you talking about these parental wounds?
Yes.
Okay, can you please explain what you mean?
Okay. Now, if you look at certain families, you can discern patterns. You can see a family, for instance, it's not a specific case, where first daughter has this problem in her marriage, second daughter has this problem in her marriage, third daughter is not even married, fourth daughter is not married. So it makes you begin to probe and to say, so what is happening in there? So in my work as a pastor in Africa, we have seen patterns that are not just normal. I have dealt with a family where anybody who marries into that family becomes mad, physically mad, either neurosis or psychosis. I'm talking about real life situation.
Yes.
So how do you explain it?
I can definitely proffer some explanations. I can. When I'm saying this, I will tie it to both spiritual and also tangibly explainable.
Of course, yes. Spiritual things are tangibly explainable if we understand it.
Yeah. The reason I had to say that is because some of us, when we talk about spiritual things, some of us feel like, okay, it's a complete mystery and it cannot be explained. Let me give some instances of, say, for instance, marrying into a family. Anybody who marries into this family begins to develop some mental issues. I can explain something that could be possible in these two instances that you gave, of the ladies having marital issues or not getting married, but of course these are suppositions because I don't know the people involved. So let's just say, for instance, in things like this, I would say for us to not quickly jump to, oh, it's just a mystery, we don't know why. Because I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to us, all of us as people. I would like to explain a possible thing that we can begin to consider when we're talking about it being both spiritual and tangibly explainable, because I don't like for us, and it's not you I'm talking to now, I'm talking to all of us generally. I don't like for us to quickly dismiss things as it's a mystery and we can't explain it, because that makes us not dig deep to see things that we could possibly begin to influence by adopting some changes, right? So for instance, let me try and explain these two instances about the ladies in the family who don't get married or have marital issues, and also where anybody who gets married into this family begins to develop mental issues. For the first one, Here is what I know. Last year we did generational curses, and the reason why I brought that topic when we did it, you weren't here, was because I had noticed something about a family that was like my family. I had noticed something. I traveled and I saw something because I spent time in a home with one of them, and everything now made sense to me. So that night I didn't even sleep. I was crying because I realized that these are the missing pieces. And I was seeing that the children were now heading into the same thing again. So as soon as I got back, the first thing I did was to convene an episode of Generational Curses so that people can understand there are things that are happening, and if you take the time to do something about it and adopt some changes, you can stop this cycle that has been going on in this family.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So, in a case of the women in this family not getting married at all, or getting married and having marital issues, there is something here. Those women are brought up in an environment in that family. Those girls are brought up in an environment where certain things are taught them, or they observe certain things. They imbibe certain values. So they have a certain outlook in life, or they have had some experiences in that family that colors the way that they see life. So that when they go out in the world, they are relating with people in a particular way. Maybe they don't know how to relate with people in the right way because they haven't learned it right from home. Or maybe they have certain values that were taught them by their environment. So when they go out in the world, that's what they're looking for. So they're looking for maybe the wrong things. So they're always running into problems because they just don't have the proper foundation. They don't have the proper attitude to life. And even when they get married, inside their marriages, they will display those things because they don't know how to do it right. Now, people in their village will be looking at them and saying, the first one is not married. The second one got married and got divorced. The third one got married and got divorced. The fourth one is not married. You know? So,
and these are factual
yes.
evidence.
And then somebody will now say it's spiritual. There's a curse. Yes, it is spiritual in the sense that, you see, the truth is that what happens in the spirit is what manifests in the physical.
In the physical, that's correct.
And when we say what happens in the spirit, it is, let me just quickly say, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Because the way that your mind is functioning is what you are going to be acting out in the physical, in real life. So there's no way to separate those things. So until you know, 2 nights ago, I was talking with a lady who said, are there such men? Are there men who actually want a close relationship? And I was like, no, you can't. The fact that you're thinking like that is what is going to make.
How did you get to a place where you are wondering whether there are men?
Because of her experience.
Exactly.
Because, yes. Exactly. So, and that has now been sewn into her spirit. So now when she goes out in the world, she's not even going to.
Yes.
You're not expecting it. I say you're not expecting it. So you are now not going to get it. Because even when if you have any man that is having a conversation with you, you already feel like you close that door already. You're not going to have the type of conversation that is going to encourage him because you already believe.
Or you think he's pretending.
Because you already do not believe that there is such a man. So therefore you are not going to get such a man. So it is your mind that we now have to reorientate.
Can I bring an example that deserves further investigation?
Okay.
Because it's a prominent family. The Kennedy family in America. Have you noticed how the Kennedys die?
Tell me, please.
JFK was assassinated. Another one was assassinated. Another one just went into a boat and got lost till today. Another one, strange things happen in the Kennedy family. It's become something that a lot of people, well, those of us in the church who have exposure in the spiritual world are saying, but why? Somebody like me, I began to read their history. I heard that their father was doing what is just like doing drugs today. He was importing alcohol into America. He made his money from importing alcohol into America. As at that time, alcohol was a contraband in America.
Okay.
But he made a lot of money and began to send his children to Ivy League universities. And they became very influential. But the way they are dying is raising questions. Do you understand? So, is it not possible? I'm saying it is open for investigation. I am not presenting a conclusive position. Is it not possible that the way their wealth came, is it not possible that it is what is affecting the children? Bible says that the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge.
Well, of course, because this will be my own way of looking at it.
It requires further investigation because we can't conclude. It's something that is worthy of study.
We can't conclude yet. My own way of looking at it would be to look at other things that have happened in the family in addition to this. But this one may even play a role in the sense that wealth, that's why sometimes even the wealth that we acquire, you see, the wealth that we acquire, when the way that we treat it, the way that we use it is usually tied to the way that we get it. Because the attitude that you're going to have if you're doing something where you are hiding, for instance, is going to play out in the home. The way that you may teach, I may teach my children to be very careful because I know that I have enemies. So already I'm affecting the way that they move in the world. Right? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am hearing you very loud and clear.
So everything that we do always comes home to affect the next thing that we're going to do. So if I have a lifestyle where I am that kind of person who is a risk taker, I am going to, if I do a business where I am taking risks, if it's something of a criminal activity, it's going to impact on the people who are in my immediate surroundings, in my family, because they're going to see me doing certain things. They're going to learn those things. So they may end up being risk takers.
Let me bring it further down. Let me help this your point a little bit more. Some of us noticed that there were prominent families we knew when we were young. Prominent families who were in occultic organizations, structures, what they call secret societies, and all such things. And a lot of the fathers in such families were highly celebrated, much talked about, and all that. But as we grew older, we began to notice that a lot of, in fact, majority, let me not say all, of children that were born in these families end up being no do wells. Even when some of them struggle, they just don't become anything. Now, is it wrong to at least begin to point towards the fact that the spiritual condition in their homes, the secret society their father belongs to, the rooms that nobody could enter, the incantations or all those things that they do, end up having effects on the children. Again, scripture says the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. What am I saying? I am bringing to the attention of people that the decisions we make, the choices we make, affect not just us,
yes,
but the people around us.
Perfect.
And it affects the people around us and becomes an influence as they continue to live their lives.
It continues to impact their lives.
Continues to be, yes, have impact in their lives.
Yes.
Now, what is the solution?